Good to go. All right, welcome everybody tonight to our, this is actually our February workshop meeting. And the regular town board meeting will be held on February 1st. So with us tonight, we have our entire council. We have Councilman Steve Moreau, Councilman Stephen Bedetti, uh, Councilwoman Sylvia Santiago, Councilwoman Eve Lincoln, our Highway Superintendent Anthony Feo is here. Our town clerk is here, Kelly Allegra, our receiver of taxes, Susan Chibos here, and I am unfortunately George Myers. And we have Dave Zagon, our town attorney, who promises not to interject himself too much into what goes on tonight, so I don't have to be here all night. All right, listen, first item on the agenda is this New York State housing crisis that the governor has put out. So it seems like she's decided that we should have like 100,000 more houses for folks. We are at our limit here, as far as I'm concerned. But I did call Senator Skoufis and say, listen, we could use some housing, but it's senior citizen housing. He said, funny that I was his second phone call who said that. So he said that this is all subject to negotiations. I've given all the board members this. I'm sure they've looked at it. And the other thing that I'm a little concerned about is this accessory apartments that she wants to put in play. But according to the state senator, this is all subject to negotiations. So between myself and town attorney's office, we'll keep an eye on it. And I did forward everybody our proposal. So we'll just see what it is. But I think we're all in agreement that we certainly could use some senior housing. So that would be my recommendation. If anybody has anything, anybody asks you, I think that's where we should go. The next item on the agenda has to do with Memorial Day. So I know that I had put something on the table about changing the day. The town of New Windsor always does Memorial Day the weekend before Memorial Day. And the reason we do that is because we're able to get the bands and some of the marchers in play that they're not committed to other places. So I know we've talked about it a few times, so I don't know, where's everybody on this? You say where we were at and go start with you.
Yeah, I mean, because other towns have them on Memorial Day weekend, right? So it gives you the ability to see yours and go to that one. The other thing is if people want to travel, they can travel on the weekend holiday if they want. But doesn't make a difference to me, whichever one.
Sylvia?
I thought we discussed, I'm for the weekend of Memorial Day.
Before?
No, the weekend of
Memorial
Memorial
Day.
Day.
What about you?
Yeah, for me, I actually talked to Matt Varanasi, because he's
Yeah,
behind all this, and he's in fear of not being able to get all these vendors and everything because it's the week of, and a lot of people do it that weekend.
Okay.
So I think it'll be, I don't know, I just think it hasn't been broken for us, so
Okay.
I'm
let's
good
go.
with keeping it. Yeah.
Eve, where are you?
Well, I like the idea of moving it because Town of Newburgh is Sunday, the 28th, and Cornwall and the city of Newburgh are Monday, the 29th. So none of our direct surrounding towns are Saturday, the 27th.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we had discussed it months ago, moving it, just because there was some feedback. Oh, I forgot New Windsor does it the weekend before, and why do you do it that weekend? And I didn't know what it came out, and I don't know, it just kind of seems more appropriate to do it that weekend. But Matt and I have the list. We're ready to jump on the bands tomorrow, as long as we have
Well,
a
that's
date
why I
confirmed.
tell you what,
Yeah.
since I'm the deciding vote, I'm just gonna leave it where it is.
Okay.
I think that it's been successful all along. I mean, we don't get huge crowds, but we do get some people out there. So we'll probably put together meetings sooner or later so we get going on this thing.
Yeah, we like I said, we need to book the bands.
I'll send something out tomorrow.
Okay.
And when are you available? No? I'll give you a
Well,
couple
yeah,
weeks
we'll talk,
notice,
talk.
all right?
Yeah.
Okay, the other thing that I just wanted to bring up, I'm talking about this, we had an issue with the day camp that we put together at Sanji and Chrissy Babcock Park, and I had some incidents with some non-residents. And some of them were serious incidents. So I talked to Matt a little bit about maybe we want to go with residents only. The issues with residents only is that we obviously lose some revenue because there's other people that don't come in. So I guess I'm just looking for the board's feeling on that. And personally, a lot of times I think people are using us as a babysitting service for that. So the question is, with the day camp, we okay with non-residents? They do pay more, and they do help to fill up the slots that we have. So what do you say, Eve?
No, we need to leave it open to non-residents. I'm not for
Okay.
limiting it at all.
Yeah, can we, I'm okay with either both residents, non-residents, but can we make it just one park? Just,
So I think it's the numbers. We're a little concerned that we can't watch them all
right,
with the staff. Don't forget, the staff is very young too. We got 14-year-olds, 12-year-olds. So I think if we put too many people in one spot, we might not be able to keep track of them.
Yeah.
And I'm scared half to death of losing it. I always speak to the people, the kids when they come in to help us run the camp about how important it is to watch the children.
yeah, right.
So it's like you go to school. You want your kid to come home the same way you sent your kid to school. I want the kid to go home the same way that we took him or her in. So yeah, that's the reason we're at two parks. It's a little more expensive, but I think I'm concerned about the numbers. You have any thought on it there?
No, I think keeping it open is good.
All right, Sylvia?
I'd be curious just to know what percentage of residents and non-residents, and then just the question is, do we have enough staff for the summer?
Well, we usually get enough people, all right?
Okay.
And if we didn't let non-residents in, then we'd obviously cut the staff down.
Correct.
So the other positive to these camps for me is that it gives the other kids a little older, the 12, 14-year-olds, a chance to get some work experience. And we kind of watch them very carefully. I actually get personally involved myself with them. So I think it's good in a lot of ways. Maybe it was a bad season, but I had two incidents there that I wasn't happy with. So, okay, we'll stick with where we had it, and I'll tell Matt tomorrow, and we'll see how it goes. All right, the next item on the agenda is Community Day. So, Community Day was always 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. And then we had a COVID Community Day where we went 4 to 9. And then last year we went 12 to 9. Matt's a little concerned with if we would be able to get food vendors with the 4 to 9. I asked him today which one he would prefer, and he thought that the 12 to 9 worked okay. And what he talked about the vendors is they get 2 meals. In other words, they get to do lunch and they get to do dinner. And the one year when we only did 4 to 9, we did have a lot of long lines. Those of you who were there remember that, right? And you really couldn't get anything to eat. So the question is the hours. So I think 10 to 9 was, even Matt saying that was too long. I think 4 to 9 or 12 to 9. Last year, 12 to 9 looked like it worked okay. So what do you think, Sylvia?
I did the last discussion that I remember that we had was the concern for the night. And so do you keep the fireworks?
That's
You have
always
to,
there. No
and
matter
you
what we
can't-
do, it's till 9. So I
Gotcha.
talked to Matt about that today.
Yeah.
And my concern with the fireworks is to turn the lights out.
Correct.
Once the lights go out, that's when the bad guys come. And it's always been that way, no matter where you are, right? Any policeman will tell you that. Once it gets dark, that's when they come out. But we have not had an incident, and we won't have an incident until we have it. So I worked very closely with the police those days when the lights go out. We spread around. So, what about you? What do you think?
Last year worked pretty good. The 12 to 9 worked though.
Yeah, I like 12
Yeah.
now.
All right, we'll stick with 12 to 9. It cuts the hours down a little. Listen, don't forget, we have a big overtime bill on this too. You know, we spend a lot of money with the police and
We saved on it from plowing.
we save them. Okay.
Different budget.
Yeah.
Anthony.
Different budget.
we do a transfer.
What was like
We're taking.
the number, the outcome, like the final cost, or
Say that with
because I wasn't on the
the
does it-
community day?
Yeah.
I forget what the
it
number
got a little
was.
reasonable. I mean, I
Okay.
have the numbers in my desk.
Yeah,
It wasn't,
It was
it
damn
was
near
not
break
peak.
even. Yeah,
I
no.
understand, but we do budget for it
yeah,
and,
and then the sponsor.
I think it's a
Yeah.
lot of sponsors.
It was damn near break even.
yeah, you get the sponsor money in. And
Yeah.
It's not a killer. And
Right.
people seem to like it. Once again, I get concerned with, well, how many non-residents are here? I don't really care about non-residents. You know, if they never come and they never show up, I'm good with it, you know? But it's hard to keep people out that don't live here. All right, listen, I put the dial-up bus on here just to bring you up to date. I've been talking to Cornwall, trying to see if we might be able to get involved with them. They have a bus down there. So I've been talking to Roger Housey a little bit. He's supposed to send me some stuff and then I'll get back to, I haven't had any calls in probably a year and a half about dial-a-bus. We'll see when he does get back to me, I'll put it back on. I'll let you know what he's paying and what our breakdown would be. But just want to let you know that it's been, we campaigned on this in 2020, we bring it back. And then when we got here, we found out there was not much of a use for it. And it got very expensive with the county. And so when I saw that they were having a dial bus, I think I spoke with Sylvia about it. I said, let me talk to them, see if maybe we could hook up with them, so. I'm waiting for him to get back to me. I just talked to him like 2 or 3 days ago. Hopefully he'll get back to me.
Yeah, because that new route they just created, can't we like add a couple stops in, kind of jump on?
Who created it then?
I've been, it's going through Newburgh now.
Is that the big bus? The,
thought-
This is the dial-a-bus from Cornwall that they
there's a
got.
little dial bus, 14
Okay,
seater.
what about hopping on the new,
That comes through town.
right?
Yeah, it's like a regular, like a Greyhound bus.
So yeah, so is there an excess need for another one?
I tell you the truth, I never
Yeah,
ever
it's
get a
just
call about transportation,
Okay.
ever. Because I've spoken to Keith a couple of times, like if some senior citizen called or somebody didn't have a vehicle, we would run them to whatever they gotta run to. I mean, I wouldn't make a habit of it, but we would
Mhm.
never just tell somebody.
Plus,
to quit.
When I saw this on the agenda, I actually called the guy that runs this senior thing here in town. And he said he has not, pre-COVID, he said he had 1 or 2 people ask, but since then he's not had one person ask.
Yeah, no,
Well-
doesn't seem to be a need.
Since you had it here, you have Uber. I mean,
That's another thing. You got
People do that
Uber and
now,
the
too.
other one, the Lyft, whatever it's called. So there's a lot of ways for people to get around. We'll see what they say in Cornwall and then we'll go from there. All right, we have that public hearing on this U-Haul that's over on 32 about that R5 zone. We talked about this to death. And we'll see if anybody shows up for that. I would be surprised if they do. The KJ Water Agreement, we are working on a KJ Water Agreement. We want to sell them some water from the Fort Hill plant. And we've kind of, I think that the number is 500,000 gallons a day. So there would be a pretty good income for the town if we do that. So we would not be able to charge KJ any more than we charge the city of Newburgh and the town of Newburgh when we bring them water. So with them, it's about a 15% on top of what it costs. So Dave now is working on an agreement with KJ, and there's still some refining of it going on. Once he gets us to the point where he's satisfied, I'll send it out to everybody if I can take a look at it. But the bottom line is we're looking to sell them 500,000 gallons a day, and it would be an income if you think, it'd be pretty good income. So let's see. I think you're still back and forth with their attorney.
Yeah, we're close though.
All right. Well, once we get close, we'll send it to the board. Let them take a look at it. Go ahead.
How are they accessing this water? Like, do we have to give easements or?
Out on Route 94, out by the overpass there. They're putting a pipe in there and they tap into the pipe and they can pick it up there.
Do
So
we have to grant them some sort of like property rights or easements or access rights?
They're gonna construct a tap there for it. They're gonna
Okay,
tap it in,
they've
and
done
then it's
all
just gonna give
this already. No, just a matter of them coming in.
metered.
line.
everything for them.
and is this like revocable by the town at any time if we don't want to do it anymore?
Yeah, that's part of the contract.
Okay.
I think they were looking at a, 5-year deal?
There's no real time frame on it. Basically, they want it until they're ready with,
Hooked up.
their own tap.
But if we change our mind at some time and we don't
Oh,
want
yeah.
to do it anymore?
You can get right out. Listen, I think, was it 30 day or something? Notice something? Yeah, something. You'll see the contract, but it's definitely addressed in there.
Hmm.
I mean, to us, it would be an income generator.
Yeah.
And pretty good, because, we're running that plan anyway. I'd like to.
Do you know about how much?
We're
Or?
looking at probably about 160,000 a month if
Yeah,
we,
it's not bad.
Okay.
It's
if we do
500,000.
it, yeah.
And they're very happy to get, because they're getting treated water right away. And they need water like yesterday. So, I
Yeah.
mean, they need a whole lot more than 500,000, but
This
that's,
is coming from the Butterhill well?
I would say we are
For
trying to
both.
figure that out. About 85, 90% will come from Butterhead.
And then the other from.
Yeah, the other, it's so close there, but most
Yeah.
of it's, I've talked to John Ojeda 4 or 5 times of that, and I'm trying to
Okay.
get it a very firm number in my head. What percentage is coming from Butter? Because that's where we're making the money, coming from Butterhill. So it's not finished just yet. Let's have Dave finish up with their attorneys, then we'll all get a look at it, and then we can sign it.
I have a question. Butterhill only runs, right, 8 hours a day. Would it have to be run more to,
No. I don't
no,
think so.
same?
No,
All right,
yeah.
thank you.
One more question.
Yeah.
If, you know how the aqueduct shuts down sometimes, so then we have to go fully on our well? Is there enough to kind of go around?
We don't go fully on it well when they shut down. When the aqueduct shuts down, which is gonna happen in February
Couple
6th
weeks.
or 5th, whatever it is. We will take water from the city of Newburgh
Mhm.
and the town of Newburgh.
So there's still,
And
and the well.
so we are blending water again,
Right,
right?
okay.
I'm trying desperately not to kind of let that all
Mhm.
by itself.
Yeah,
But we're blended with that. Problem with
Okay.
that is we are paying them a premium rate too.
Yeah.
So everybody charges everybody a premium rate. So yeah, that's gonna happen. Then we have a Delaware aqueduct shutdown coming up that's gonna be for months and months and months, and we are under some agreement with town of Newburgh to supply them with water, but I think that they've brought some other sources of water in, so maybe we'll be okay on that. Listen, once again, we haven't signed anything with Cage. I'm just kind of alerting you to the fact that that's in the mix, that it's out there. All right, we have a new peddler and solicitor's permit that I refer to all the time, and Dave Zagon didn't think that ours was tight enough. So he's reworked it. And are we calling for a public hearing this month, or where are we?
Yes.
Okay. So everybody has it. Take a look at it. Did you have a bullet memo come out about something? Did everybody get it?
Should have.
Okay, so if everybody got, those are the bottom lines. Listen, from experience, know that residents do not like people knocking on their doors. And that's what I'm deaf about. I don't really need that. We had this whole food truck thing came up, and I don't think we had, I think we did. Town attorney and I don't agree, but we probably didn't have on a legal aspect, we weren't doing so good, but I think in a moral and common sense, we were doing okay. You have a food truck on a state highway, out in the driveway, it was crazy. But anyway, that got Dave thinking, and he came to me and said that we really need to tighten up. So that's what this is about. But there would be no changes. Everything goes through Kelly and hey, did you get a copy of this stuff? You want to send a copy to Kelly tomorrow, just so she can see what we're proposing? Because she'd be the one that on the front lines on this. So once again, we'll call for a public hearing, and if anybody has any comments on that, you should stop in and see Dave, tell him what your comments are, and then we can put this in play. I think at the end of the day, Dave was 100% right, but sometimes I've been just telling people no and they go away. Sometimes they come back.
So the section 9, number 4, that's the one we had talked about in the past, and you can't sell anything basically out of your or anyone's driveway, pretty much with no
It's always a
exceptions.
problem. I mean,
Yeah.
if you didn't know anything about anything, you saw somebody on the state highway selling stuff out of it with no place to park, and you were just inviting an accident. So,
And the legitimate businesses won't be able to open up and keep doing that in driveways.
Mhm.
listen, that's a good point that Steve brings up, but I've always been conscious of that we have a lot of local businesses paying very heavy taxes in town. And then for someone to come along and pay, how much is it now? 1,000, 2,000, what are they? How much? So, yeah, so just they're getting away with 2,000, and this poor guy is spending $10,000 to keep his restaurant up. I was never crazy about that. So, everybody, if no one has a comment about that, we'll have the public hearing, I guess, in April, and we'll see where it goes.
Wanted to just say something if I could.
Yeah.
So we had a fire at my house. I
Yeah.
want to say thank you to you for reaching out.
Okay.
Multiple times you called. Thank you. Sylvie reached out. Thank you. Eve spoke to my daughter. Thank you. Steve Bedetti was on my house.
He was in
He
working.
put the fire out.
Yeah.
And I want to shout out to the PBA who bought our family dinner last night. So they sent it to the house. So that's just very nice. And just appreciate everybody reaching out. But we're all fine and we have insurance and hopefully everything works out. So
Yeah, not like we spoke before. That's a real tragedy.
Yeah.
I mean, this wasn't like a little kitchen fire. This was a pretty substantial fire, so. that's
yeah, if you
always-
smell smoke, it's me. So.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's the call you never want to get.
just
You
had
went
a
home, right?
cigar.
No, I was at a wake. Dean's wake.
Yeah, I saw.
Mhm.
that. Okay, that's the public portion. So with that being said, everybody who's not on the board, thank you for showing up. And Alberto, I've told Susan everything I wanted to know, so she'll tell you.